The news broke like a thunderclap, reverberating across the globe with an intensity that could not be ignored. Ukrainian drone obliterates Russian naval asset in daring dawn raid. This was not just an attack, it was a bold statement of defiance and technological prowess. It was more than a headline. It was a signal that the rules of war had changed. The world watched as the balance of power shifted in real time. A single unmanned vehicle had just challenged a naval power, demonstrating the potential of modern warfare technology. The first images were raw: a small boat, a flash of fire, destruction in real time. The immediacy of the footage brought the conflict into living rooms worldwide. This was not a distant war, it was a pivotal moment in a global struggle. The proximity of the conflict to civilian areas added a layer of urgency and fear. The Black Sea, once a crossroads of empires, was now a proving ground for new warfare. Its waters, steeped in history, were now a stage for modern conflict. The footage was both mesmerizing and horrifying, a real, modern battle delivered to our screens. It was a stark reminder of the destructive power of war. The efficiency of this strike underscored the new tools of war: remote, precise, and deadly. Analysts pored over the footage, dissecting every detail. But behind the explosion were real people, real decisions, and real consequences. The human element of war was ever present, even in this high-tech battle. Who was on that boat? Who piloted the drone? These questions added a personal dimension to the unfolding drama. What led to this moment? The timeline of escalating tensions painted a picture of a region on the brink. This single event captured the essence of Ukraine's fight: defiance, innovation, and the high cost of resistance. It was a testament to their resilience and ingenuity. The Black Sea had become a critical theater, and this strike was a turning point. The strategic importance of the region could not be overstated. The world could no longer look away. The implications of this conflict were far-reaching, affecting global politics and security. The implications would ripple far beyond the blast. World leaders scrambled to respond, their reactions shaping the future of international relations. This was not just a statistic, it was a warning. The cost of conflict was measured not only in numbers, but in human lives and futures. The future of international security was being forged, one explosive encounter at a time. Each strike was a step into a new era of warfare, where technology and strategy would redefine the battlefield. Dawn on the Black Sea. The first light crept across the water, painting the horizon in soft gold and purple hues, a deceptive calm settling over the waves. A Russian Raptor-class patrol boat cut through the mist, its engines humming quietly, the hull slicing through the stillness. Its crew moved with practiced precision, but their nerves were taut, every sense heightened by the uncertainty of war. For these Marines, patrols had once been routine, just another day at sea. But now, with conflict raging, routine had become a myth, replaced by a constant edge of anxiety. Every shadow on the water, every blip on the radar, could mean disaster. The crew watched their screens with unwavering focus, knowing that a single mistake could be fatal. The soldiers scanned the horizon, their faces bathed in the eerie green glow of their instruments. Each man and woman was locked in silent concentration, searching for threats that could emerge at any moment. The sky shifted from black to purple, the most dangerous time when vigilance falters and fatigue sets in. It was a moment when the mind could wander, but here, no one dared let their guard down. They were a small part of a vast machine, tasked with survival and defense. Each patrol was a test of endurance, a reminder of their vulnerability in the open sea. The Raptor class was built for speed and firepower, designed to dominate these waters. Its weapons gleamed in the dawn, a show of strength meant to deter any would-be attacker. On paper, they were the hunters, predators in their own domain, trained to strike first and strike hard. But this morning the threat was invisible, watching from above, perhaps from a drone or satellite, unseen eyes tracking their every move. The Black Sea, a historic crossroads of empires and trade, was now a front line in Ukraine's war. Its waters had become a chessboard for nations, each move carrying enormous risk. Control of these waters meant control of supply lines, blockades, and ultimately, the fate of nations. Every ship, every patrol, played a part in this high-stakes struggle. These Marines weren't just on patrol, they were pawns in a geopolitical struggle far larger than themselves, their actions echoing on the world stage. Their tense vigil was a microcosm of the entire conflict, a daily battle between fear and duty, between hope and dread. The sea itself seemed to hold its breath. the glassy surface betraying nothing of the turmoil beneath. In war, the line between hunter and hunted is razor thin. One moment's hesitation could mean the difference between life and death, and on this day, as the sun rose higher, the balance was about to shift, forever altering the fate of those who stood watch on the Black Sea. High above, a Bayraktar TB2 drone hunted in silence. Invisible to those below, it was a ghost in the sky, watching, waiting. In a distant bunker, its crew monitored every detail: flight data, video feed, enemy movement. Their mission: patience. The TB2 could loiter for hours, gathering intelligence. The operators learned the enemy's patterns, waiting for the perfect moment. This was the new cavalry, riding data, not horses. The drone's power was persistence, not brute force. On this morning the hunt paid off. The operators spotted something, a target worth striking. The digital hunt was about to become deadly. The drone's camera swept the sea, catching a white wake, a Raptor-class boat. The operators zoomed in, confirming a high-value target. The TB2 began a wide orbit, shadowing the boat from above. Thermal imaging revealed the crew, glowing against the cold sea. Every movement was tracked, every detail relayed to command. The boat was now a digital mark, its fate hanging in the balance. The operators counted personnel, watched their routines. The drone's computer locked onto the target, keeping it centered. The live feed streamed to headquarters. Decisions would be made in moments. The Raptor's crew had no idea they were being watched. They sailed into a trap, set by an enemy they couldn't see. The decision to strike was out of the operator's hands. It now rested with a commander, weighing risk and reward. The tension was electric. The next move would change everything. In a command post, a Ukrainian officer watched the same feed. The choice: strike and risk the drone, or let the target go. Destroying the boat would disrupt Russian operations and boost morale, but firing would reveal the drone's position, risking a valuable asset. Was the target worth it? Was it part of a larger force? The commander weighed lives, equipment, and strategy. War is cold calculus, no room for emotion. The window was closing. The order came: engage. The risk was justified by the potential gain. The message relayed: strike, now. The fate of the Marines and the drone was sealed. The sequence was set in motion. All that remained was to watch. The next moments would decide the outcome. In the drone control room, the order to engage electrified the air. The operator armed the MML missile, laser-guided for precision. The pilot stabilized the drone. Everything had to be perfect. Just as the operator prepared to fire, the data link flickered, connection lost. Tension spiked. Had they been jammed? Was the chance gone? Seconds crawled by. Then, the link returned. The boat was still there, oblivious. The operator relocked the laser, confirmed the target. The pilot gave the all-clear. Training took over. The button was pressed. The missile detached, beginning its silent journey. 30 seconds of breathless anticipation. The crew watched, powerless to intervene. The missile was invisible, but its impact would be unmistakable. For the Marines below, fate was sealed. This was the new face of war, remote, precise, and final. The impact was instant. One moment, a boat; the next, a fireball. The missile struck dead center, its thermite warhead igniting a white-hot inferno. The boat's hull melted, fuel tanks ruptured, flames consuming everything. The thermal camera showed only a blazing mass. No survivors. Russian radio channels erupted in panic, confusion, and fear. The psychological blow was as devastating as the physical one. Within minutes, Russian vessels retreated, patrols canceled. The strike paralyzed enemy operations in the sector. The unseen hunter had not just killed, it had terrified the rest. The mission was a complete success. The Black Sea was suddenly, eerily quiet. One drone, one missile had changed the balance. The world was watching. The drone circled above, documenting the aftermath. The Raptor boat burned out, drifting, lifeless. No survivors, no rescue, just oil and debris on the water. Satellite images later confirmed the wreck. The evidence was irrefutable. Ukraine had struck a decisive blow. Russian operations halted, forced to reassess their security. The cost of complacency was clear. For Ukraine, it was a morale boost and a propaganda victory. The video went viral, a modern David versus Goliath. Each small victory mattered in this war of attrition. The world saw Ukraine not as a victim, but as a capable defender. The Silent Sea bore witness to a new kind of warfare. It's easy to focus on the technology and tactics, the drone, the missile, the victory. The headlines are filled with stories of precision strikes and advanced weaponry, painting a picture of progress and power, but these images only scratch the surface of what's truly happening on the ground. Behind every white-hot image, every explosion caught on camera, were human lives, hopes and dreams, lost in an instant. Each statistic is a person, each victory a family's heartbreak. These were sons, brothers, husbands, now casualties of a brutal conflict. Their absence leaves a void that can never truly be filled, their stories cut short by the violence of war. War is often sanitized for public view, reduced to numbers and maps. But the reality is raw grief and immeasurable loss. The pain lingers long after the battles fade from the news. Remote warfare creates a dangerous detachment, killing at a distance, consequences unseen. The operators may be miles away, but the devastation is immediate and real for those on the ground. This is the new face of conflict, efficient, relentless, but deeply troubling. Technology has changed the battlefield, but not the cost in human suffering. There is no glory here, only necessity and tragedy. The survivors carry invisible wounds, and the scars of war shape generations. Each strike is a reminder of failed diplomacy and the high cost of escalation. Every destroyed bridge, every abandoned negotiation, pushes peace further away. As technology advances, so does the human toll. The tools may be new, but the suffering is as old as war itself. The only true victory is peace, a goal that feels distant yet remains the hope that endures through every hardship. Ukraine's fight is part of a larger global struggle, a test of humanity's resolve to choose compassion over conflict. The world must decide, continue down this path of destruction or seek a different future. The choice is ours, and the consequences will echo for generations. The Black Sea burns, and the world holds its breath, waiting to see what comes next, hoping still for peace.